We're talking from Yale to jail and from the church house to the pimp house. Nothing's excluded on Shop Talk. So if you don't have a phone, I suggest you borrow one. Call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to Shop Talk with your girl, because right here, we keeps it real. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Amber D. Nick will be joining us a little bit in a few minutes, I guess. She'll be coming in a little bit later. Also, we do have a guest that's coming on and giving her opinion, which is pretty doggone cool, a shop talker.
Yes.
All right. Let's get this going because, listen, today is packed with so many things going on. So joining in right now, today's topic is fat acceptance, transgender youth, workplace bullying. Oh my. I can't keep up. I mean, there's a lot going on, right? It's like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? All right, let's get into what we talked about last night. Last week, I feel like I just saw y'all. Last week with what is this? Udoka, the whole coach of the Boston Celtics and Nia Long. And we're gonna get this over quick. So they revealed the one they were protecting, which was, I can't say mistress because they're not married. Nia Long and him, they're not married, so I can't say mistress. But they reveal her. That who? The side chick? Okay. All right. Yeah, because he's a side dude because she's married.
Right. Well, I thought she was separated.
Girl, bye. You still married. You call it what you want. Y'all kill me out there with that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all kill me with the whole, okay, well, they're separated, so all is well. Girl, don't waste your time. Ladies, don't waste your time with a man that is separated because guess what? They may reconcile or reconcile. However you want to say it. Like I said, hurricane. You say Ian, I say Ian. My cousin named Ian. That's it. Okay. But they actually showed her. So, of course, she's non-melanated, red hair. The only thing in common that I see with her and Nia Long is the part down the middle of their hair.
Why did you say, of course, so? She's not melanated.
Because you know... Because I'm being me. You already know. Because I'm being me. I'm about as honest as they come. Okay? You know, he went to NBA. And I just don't see a whole lot of them with us. Go ahead. What you got, Nick? What you confused about, honey?
I'm confused. What happened to the picture of the chick that they showed at first? It was a light-skinned black chick. The picture that I saw.
I thought it was multiple.
You know what? I can't. There y'all go on Shop Talk. You're exposing.
I thought I read it was multiple.
Let me say alleged. I put that out there, y'all.
Okay, yeah, but that's why I'm confused when I saw that. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought she was this light-skinned black chick that they.
Okay, the one that I seen was not. Well, okay, she could be light-skinned, non-melanated. I don't see the melanation. Okay?
No, that is a different girl.
That's a different, and light skin and non-melanated are not the same thing.
I know, but hey, I was just making peace on the show so we can move along. Okay, whatever. I think she's married, mother of 3, and she's a Mormon. Now, you with me? And she's a Mormon. Now, I mean, I don't judge. A sin is a sin, but I'm gonna talk about it. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, now Mormons, to my understanding, like they can't even drink tea. Matter of fact, let me get my tea ready. Because I can't. But they can't like even drink tea because of the caffeine in it. So, I mean, I'm going to say we as a society hold them to a higher standard if you can't even sip no tea. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa. So this is my understanding. This is all alleged. This is my understanding after doing research is that somebody she knew, or I guess they were in her family, got her into that position as a traveler, traveling agent, traveling person, or whatever it is for the team. I didn't know that, but I'm not a coach. I didn't know that like the coaches even communicated with them. I thought it was just like email. You know what I mean? That type thing. Then I hear that her and Nia were cool. Now, and that could very well be, because let's look at Hunter Biden. Yeah, you heard it. Like, where we going, Mel? I'm getting ready to take you. Follow me. Rugo will be like, you ain't taking me down that rabbit hole. But so Hunter's girlfriend is his brother's widow.
Well, and ancient
anyone except the one that was cheating with Udoka.
I mean, it's actually that's pretty traditional in like traditional Jewish cultures and some other cultures where you're supposed to marry your brother's widow. But that's like real super orthodox.
Ew.
Yeah, but you know what? Y'all probably wonder, like, why did you bring that up? I'm bringing that up because there was an issue because they were saying that the side chick, and Neil were cool and they were smiling. You know, she was smiling in her face, meanwhile doing her dude.
And that's not anything crazy. Like, that's pretty standard cheating behavior. So, I mean, I don't think that's weird. It makes sense if that's the type of woman she is.
It's usually it usually happens. It's always the friend. Seriously, it's always
the friend.
It's always
the person that's the closest.
Huh?
The person that's the closest to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then that sounds like
from experience. It's always the friend.
I just wonder, I just hope Nia Long is at peace and taking care of herself and will bounce back from this and be stronger and wiser and happier. And then everybody else is going to get their karma.
Okay, now here's the interesting thing. You said bounce back. Do you think she's affected?
I feel like at least humiliated. And if she's not, she ought to be. I mean, it's about respect, and even they are not married, but they have a spiritual union. And while if they expect others to respect their spiritual union, then they themselves within the spiritual union should be respecting the spiritual union.
I think we, us media people, are the ones that's really putting it out, because if he was with Amber D, Udoka with Amber D, and he cheats, you guys are going together, air quotes to the listening audience, you guys go together, and he cheats on you, it's like, oh, okay, is she going to take him back or is she not? I think we put her out there because everybody knows Nia Long and are like, oh my gosh, Nia Long's boyfriend, well, spiritual partner, whatever the correct terms are, cheated on her with somebody, but they go together. And then it's like, should she forgive him? Should she leave him? And it's all of us that are actually projecting what we think in our situation, but they go together. So a go together is an easy walk away.
Correct. Well, they have kids together, but they're still not financially and everything. Legally, it's an easy walk away. As far as projecting, I wouldn't take him back. I wouldn't forgive him. But
you wouldn't forgive him.
Nope.
And see him. Oh, look, I'm spitting out candy. Sorry, y'all. Werther's. This is a live show. We can't even edit it, right? But here's the situation where they got a lot of breath with the here. See, I'm good though. I'm safe in here because I had that candy. But with that, I think that him not wanting to marry her is because he wasn't ready. That's just my thoughts.
She didn't want to get married.
Well, either one of them. However it went, they had an understanding, and
that he violated.
See, I don't know.
Pretty much.
Okay, so they didn't get married, boom, and y'all like, oh no, it's over. Me at this point, I'm looking at their age. Is this something that you can deal with? Is it something that you can't? You don't live in the same area. Not saying it's okay. to cheat because your girl or your guy lives somewhere else, and you're traveling back and forth. Not justifying his actions at all, but would you really throw in the towel on that? How many, they're like, oh, well, they have, a child together, and, then they have her other son that he raised as well. Now, Nia's ex-boyfriend, the other son's father, is chiming in on his side to get back with him. He's a good guy. Sir, and this is just me, on the outside looking in. You're sitting there vouching for this guy. He's a great guy. Why? Because he took care of your responsibility? I'm so confused here.
Basically.
You know what I mean? It's wait a minute.
That's what it is.
Now, I just want to ask you ladies this real quick before we get on to Mr. Curtis Jackson, okay? If someone cheats on you, are you more offended if they are prettier than you or not as attractive as you? Doesn't matter if they're cute or ugly. There you go.
You want me to answer first? I feel like if they're more attractive, it's about it's more of a reflection of his lack of depth and critical thinking. But if they're less attractive, then it's a reflection of his I was going somewhere.
Where were you going? You got us stuck. We throw the car in neutral because we rocking.
If they're less attractive than you, then I feel like that is a reflection of their low self-esteem.
So, but I asked your opinion, not him or what you think of him. You.
Right.
Would you be more upset if they were prettier or uglier than you?
No, it's equal upset. It's just an indication of what's going on in his mind because he's the one that's cheating. So,
okay, yeah, what's your thoughts, Nick? What's your thoughts, Nick?
I don't care if she's pretty, ugly, if she got an eye in the middle of her forehead. Dude, you cheated on me, and that's a violation. Period. Point blank. In the conversation.
So you have no if you see the new girl or the person that he cheated with, like you said, you don't care. You see her, you're totally okay if she's prettier or uglier. It's just the fact that he cheated.
Either way. I'm not okay either way.
If they're ugly, I'd be like, how they've fallen so hard.
Yeah, exactly. But if she's pretty, I'd be like, really? Dude?
I'm like, she's probably gonna use him.
Yeah, you're like, she really don't want you. She doing this.
Okay, if you wanted me to spruce myself up, that's all you had to do was say so. But either way, ugly, pretty, like I said, an eyeball in the middle of her forehead, I'm gonna be mad either way.
Okay.
I'm gonna be mad either way.
Okay.
Dude, you violated that. Period.
Okay. You know what? I thought about the question, obviously. And because the question was posed to me, and I was like, well, here's the thing. And I'm with you guys, it doesn't really matter. But for my own sanity, let's say, me keep it in 100. Even with guys, if it's an uglier guy or I hate to say ugly, not so attractive, I have to dress up for the ladies. I'm not so attractive female. I will be like, okay, I'll understand it. Because here's the thing. There's some things that I wouldn't do that maybe that person will. Only for personal experience. And this is where I'm going. Now, if she's prettier, I'm like, yes, thank you. Because if she's prettier, I'm like, okay, so I already know where I stand, but I see, okay, that's the type that you like. There is a type. But if they're not, I'd be like, oh, you just with anybody. I thought I was cold. I thought I was with a dude that was cold like you. You know what I mean? You got your standards and stuff together. No shade to the ladies, but I'm just keeping it 100. Now, for a male, usually when females, and this personal and, some of my people that be there, experience, usually if the male is not so cute, y'all know, dudes that's whack, that's ugly, they say they the most freakiest. You know what I mean? You would have, listen, I was dating this one guy that was cute and it was all good, but he kept readjusting my rearview mirror. I'm taking you all the way back so you already know. And 47 what? Oh, okay. Oh, they said I got a critical alert here. Let me get some more orange
Oh
juice.
boy.
Blood sugar 47 now.
No.
You know what? This is an educational moment. I'm getting ready to do it. That's why I had the little candy. Educational moment for the diabetics out there. Probably don't know I'm a type 1 diabetic. Okay, look, educational moment. Pause for the cause. And I wear this bracelet, okay, to let people know. You guys see me live and in person. I'm talking to you. Some people, when they are low, they have symptoms. Shaky, you know what I mean? All those type things. I do have that. But sometimes, okay, I see her. Sometimes I don't have any symptoms until it's too late. I.e., this would be that moment. Okay? And this is orange juice. So let's see.
Did you put some sugar in it?
They got me right. My people, that's what they came in. I'm like, what? Like, it's an emergency. What? That is an emergency, because if I would have just sat there, just dropped y'all, to be like, what happened?
Yeah, exactly.
Get the glucagon. Yeah, get that glucagon. But yes, so there you guys have it. So that was that Mel's medical moment. Type 1 diabetes. If your blood sugar is low, get some orange juice. I don't know. I'm on an insulin pump. And yeah, so you'd be like, oh, are you being alerted? I was alerted earlier when it was 53 before the show. And that's why I didn't start on time. But I'll let you guys know since I let you in a little bit. That's my blood sugar right now.
It's going up, okay.
So I'm at 49. So I'm letting you guys know this is a real deal. This is a live show. Hold on one second. Hey, can y'all give me some more orange juice? Hey, this is a live show. We got to show what's going on. I'm like, I need like a beeper or something like that. Usually it does alert. Yeah, let me let the people know. It does alert me. I have it down low because I'm on this show. So I have people that's out there like, hey, wait, we got something that we need to handle. So I'll be right back after this break, and you guys handle it real quick. Okay, and I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So, Nia Long.
Girl, listen, don't look back. Well, she said she just wants to concentrate on her kids. And that's the best thing, because he do it once, he do it twice. Ain't no telling how long he been doing it, and bye.
And I also want to point out to everyone the health implications. STDs are real, and a lot of cheaters are usually incredibly sexually irresponsible. So she could be being exposed to, and she probably is, honestly, like, can we be realistic here? She probably is being exposed to STIs, STDs, and at the very least, pH imbalance. Yeah, I just feel like the disrespect, and it's like, it would be different if they had an open relationship, an open spiritual union. Maybe they do. I don't know. So if she can go and deal with others, and that's okay, then yeah, there's no problem. But that is called ethically non-monogamous. And the way this story has been broke definitely does not sound like there's anything ethical about what he did, consent, conversation, agreement, union, and about his activities outside of their union. So I feel like there is a big difference between someone cheating and being in an open relationship. Even then, a lot of people who are in open relationships, it's a lot of coercion and pressuring. And that's why sensitive old America came up with ENM. Monogamous. So, and I think bringing that ethical part into the conversation is what's critical. But based on, everything we've heard, it wasn't an ethical or fair situation for her.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this spiritual union.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it was. Somebody didn't want to get married. Period.
I mean,
they want to get married, so they come up with this bull crap.
Than he does? Because I thought she maybe made more money than him.
It's listen. If you're trying to save them assets, it's called prenup.
Right.
Period.
Or have a spiritual marriage. I
thought that's what they had.
Yeah, so that's how she's saving her money. So all is well.
A spiritual marriage.
But if it's a spiritual union, like I said, like I was bringing the ethically non-monogamous, if they had a agreement that they could date and entertain others, then that's their business. But that don't sound like what this was.
They didn't have, exactly. They didn't have no agreement.
So
that's why she said she
violated, and he while you were off, and he most likely and probably exposed her to STDs and STIs.
And see, that's where there's an issue. That's where there will become an issue. I don't think anybody, let's be real, I don't think anybody will be okay. Both parties will be okay with seeing other people, because it's always going to be one to be like, no, and then the other one, one will be like, well, let's have the bright idea, and the other one just go along to get along because they're into the person. But they really don't want to be with that person. I mean, have them cheating. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. But I think Nia needs to make her own decision, and him actually doing that, he put her out there. He put her out.
That's why I said the humiliation.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to. That's what it actually boils down to. That, and I did hear when you were talking about the children. They have children together. Let's move on to Curtis Jackson. He has a child. I think the child's name is Marquise Jackson, that he allegedly don't like, can't stand him. 50 Cent for you people who don't know who Curtis Jackson is. Well, his son, before I agree, his son says that $6,700 a month is not enough child support.
Not for a person with 50 cents bank account. No, it's not. A lot of people are like, he better sit down somewhere. He grown. He this, he that. Nah, like, let's keep it 100. His bank account didn't match what he was paying. Period. Point blank. This man is making money on top of money. He could have afforded a little bit more.
Go ahead, Amber D.
I agree with Nick. And child support is supposed to be a percentage of your income. Now, if he's as an adult,
he's 25. Isn't he 25 or something?
But people as an adult, and I would like to point this out, especially for Black folks, you can receive back child support as an adult. If your parent did not pay when they were supposed to pay when you were a minor, you are still entitled to that money. So, and you can go pursue that money too and get their paycheck garnished. I don't care. If you got kids, you need to take care of them either now or later. So, yeah, and child support is a percentage of your income. And everybody knows that. So, yeah, he was being a sorry male and doing what a lot of these sorry males do, which is being cheap and stingy towards their own offspring. And accident, unintentional, blah, blah, blah. It don't matter. Children don't ask to be born. And if you felt that strongly, you would practice sexual discipline. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's funny because he the one that looked just like him.
He looks just like him. All right, let me give you a medical update. I'm now at 79 for our lovely people. Okay, let's keep rolling. We coming up. Hey. Then it's going to be like through the roof. Be like, oh my God, it's 300. But listen, now, here's the deal. He is grown. I don't know that he owed back child support. $6,700 is, I think that's really nice at 25. Okay, that's just me. I think that's nice at 25. There is no way, and I'm going to tell you this right now, as hard as I work, and my children, and one of them on here right now, and they doing their thing, and and I'm working hard, and because I make the money that I make, that I work so hard to do, now you want to say that that's not enough? How about I don't give you nothing? How about that?
But see, I guess from what I read, allegedly, the son said that's what he did throughout, the childhood. That's all
Exactly.
Now, come on.
Oh, so it's all back pay?
More than
Exactly. And that's why I think he probably has lawyers who are and accountants who are crunching the numbers, and we're like, oh, he was skimming you, and he wasn't giving you the amount of money you should have been receiving as a child. That's what I was talking about, because a lot of people who grow up impoverished, poor, because they daddy didn't do nothing, or their mama was so much in her ego and pride that she wouldn't file for child support. You can still get child support as an adult. So that's why because otherwise he has no legal basis. And if this is like ongoing, then there is some legal basis to what he's saying. That was my first thought, was it's back child support.
So the takeaway from this conversation is, ladies, get somebody that got something so you can get more than $50 a month.
boom.
And don't be in your ego and have pride about it because he didn't choose you.
Okay.
Think about the child. Think about what the child needs. That's what child support is for, not to make you feel better.
Okay. I just think $6,700 is a bit extreme, and you're complaining and then talking about, well, in New York, 25, you can't get a job. Like, if I had $6,700 as a child, I'm putting myself in Marquise's shoes. As a child, I would sit there and be like, I got that, and I'm going to get a job, and I'm making this, and I'm doing that. Or while I get that, scale down, go to school, get your education so that you can make the big bucks. Go ahead, what you got? Go ahead, Amber.
How do you respond? I think he needs that money for therapy. But no, seriously, I think that this is emotionally fueled. I do think he has more than enough money. He's able to support himself. But as the whole world, unfortunately, knows, they have a very difficult relationship. And this is like, it sounds like a messy divorce. It's like a nasty, unpleasant, bitter, horrible relationship where you're just like, yeah, and they do it on social media. Like, it's so toxic. I can't fault him. So it's not my business, thank God. I don't have a relationship like that with anybody, let alone my parent. So if this is helping him, if he's feeling like he's getting some kind of, vengeance, payback, making him feel bad, I don't know. But if there's a legal standing for him to get this money, then he should get it. Because, 50 Cent seems like a sorry male.
Why? Because he petty.
It's
Very.
Emotionally immature, toxic.
He's very petty. He really is.
Yeah, and I could totally see him undercutting how much child support he was supposed to pay at that point in time. I could see him doing that. And I think it's wrong. It's sorry. And ladies, make better choices. Please stop. Abort. Have an abortion. Jesus. But,
well, you can't. Roe versus Wade.
Right. Like, there's a whole lot
Go
of
to
men.
a state where you can.
There's a whole
And
lot
there's
of
still
men
a few.
like 50 Cent. A whole lot of them.
Listen, y'all know he petty. Anytime you gonna take your money, and see, this is where, he need to pay. He need to pay more. You paying him $700 a month, and you complaining about that. Wanting to fight about that. But in your pettiness, you take and buy a whole stadium for another star that you was having a problem with, that was having a concert. You buy all the seats so don't nobody show up at his concert. You spent that kind of money to be that petty, but then you don't want to give your son more than $6,700. That's where I'm like, nah, go ahead, get your money, man.
Okay.
Because if your daddy is that petty to do something like that, then give me my money.
Okay. I hear where you're coming from, but I'm going to tell you about mine. If I work for mine, you can't tell me how to spend my money.
But that's what child support is. The government is telling you how to spend. So, men, if you don't want the government in your relationship, don't have babies with women you don't want to be with.
Right, basically. Boom, there you go.
Well,
yeah.
Lesson
Wear
learned.
that condom. I don't care how not good it feel. Wear it. Put it on.
It is what it is.
School's in. Okay. Check this out. Juanita Bynum is back in the news.
Oh my
real quick. Let me get my Tasha Cobb on. Hold on. Did y'all see her new video? Wait a minute. There we go. Here's my Tasha Cobb.
Look, poking out a little bit.
Cleavage. I was like, okay, Tasha, I see you. Okay. But Juanita Bynum has made the internet crack again. Shook it up a little bit because she's having, I guess it's like a prayer class. And it's $1,500 to attend her class. And to my understanding, there is 100 people, like 100 seats for this prayer class, alleged. Well, they're upset. The peoples is upset because it's $1,500 and they cannot believe that she's having a prayer class for $1,500. What's your thoughts on that?
It's prayer classes for the elite, for the wealthy. It's not poor class. It's not prayer classes for you poor people. You don't need to learn how to pray like that. This is a special kind of prayer that's only for the rich and famous. So get over it.
Go ahead, Nick. What you got?
Prayer is free. I don't care what type of prayer it is. Prayer is free. She wrong. Prayer class. Come on. Prayer is free.
She has a lifestyle, bills, and that she wants to maintain, financial obligations. And if people, it's a free market. If people are willing to pay for her classes,
they're crazy.
Then
I don't care if I did have that money.
Okay,
they're crazy.
I feel like it's a little bit of celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of validating the price point. Because if it was some little bum nobody from the middle of nowhere, who's going to pay for that?
Listen, if you want to learn how to pray,
it's all about choices. You spend your money on what you want to spend your money on.
That's crazy. If you want to learn how to pray, read the Bible. Open your Bible up, read your Bible.
Well, the Bible has verses and it tells you stories. I haven't seen where it shows you how to pray. I mean, you can hear that. You can read the stories.
God will show you.
Okay, you can read the stories where people kneeled and, and it can kind of tell you that way.
I do think you're supposed to find spiritual guidance and leadership. And the Bible does talk about that as well. But,
$1,500 for a prayer class. Lord, where have we gone?
One pastor's prayer closet. It's just there's something not right. Ever since we started talking about that New York pastor, there's something not right about him. And there's something not right about this. Now, if she was doing it as a fundraiser and a portion of the funds was going to whatever charity or effort she's doing, okay, but as far as I know, it sounds like this is just for her personal. And I will say, one good thing is she's being upfront. She's not dipping into the church's money or, you know what I'm saying, or the tithe money or whatever. She's like, listen, I have this service and you can pay for it and it's for me. So I will say that's a good thing. No deception there. This money is for her.
Okay. All right. I can rock with that. But I also can rock with those who feel like, why do we have to pay for prayer? Even though we know ultimately it's our decision if we want to support this person. Now, from a business standpoint, like you were talking about, Amber D, you have to, I don't know if it's an online service or whatever it is, but you have to get paid for your services. So I am teaching you. So a teacher can come and teach a class, or a motivational speaker can teach a class and get paid. But her being in the ministry, she can't, there's a cutoff. There's a top off. I was having a conversation about a pastor, where someone in the community felt like, well, why are they driving a Cadillac Escalade? I said, well, should they be on the bus? I don't understand that if you are of the clergy, you have there's a cap, there's a cutoff on how much you're able to make. But somebody like me can go in and say, hey, I'm having this class for this amount of money and people are able to pay. and it's okay, and there's no, oh, it should be free. Go ahead.
I think that the cap is when your congregation isn't keeping up with you. I want to say it's Japanese or something. It's an Asian culture. They have a cap on how much a CEO can make. Like a CEO could only make 7 times what their lowest paid employee makes, and that's what it's like. There's a range, and I think that what you see in churches is that you have these like mega church pastors who are living this luxurious, crazy, fabulous lifestyle, but then their congregation members are, they're incredibly impoverished, and then they're going to this church to be spiritually fed, but they're also not providing them real life application of scripture to improve the quality of their life. Like teaching like financial literacy, home economics, things like that. Like, how is your ministry actually benefiting your congregation? And if there's a too big of a gap, like at the Japanese company example, then it's usually indicative of a moral problem at the top.
Now, one that I do know is Bishop Noel Jones. He teaches financial literacy to his congregation. Usually people are going to the churches for hope. They're already down on their luck. So I get it. Are you taking from them? That's not the objective. But watch this. If you're of the clergy and you don't have, how, you know what I mean? You don't have, so you're trying to gain too, not pull from poor people. That's not the objective. It's like, okay, you're paying into the church, you're keeping it, keeping the church going with the building fund, the whole 9. But am I not to be blessed? So be poor in the name of Jesus. Like, help me, make it make sense. Help me understand what's going on. Go ahead. I want to hear. I'm trying to understand.
There's actually several, and my pastor, my sister, did teach financial literacy within the church as well. But there are several scriptures about how those that are favored by the Lord receive blessings.
Yes,
and that is also material, and that's in the Bible.
Yes.
So no, following Jesus doesn't mean you're automatically supposed to be poor and suffering and all that. But obviously there's like different components of it.
But society said right. There's a cap. Like, come on. It's crazy how you have people telling other people, no, you can't do that because you do this. You're supposed to help people. Yes, I'm helping people, but because I didn't help you and I helped somebody else last week, I'm no good. Come on. That's just me. So I'm not mad at Juanita Bonham. $1,500 for the prayer class. If y'all want to go. If you got $1,500 you want to hear and learn how to pray. Now I know they have hooping class. I heard about that.
I'm sorry. What is that?
Exactly. Good question, Amber D. That's when you have some pastors. I don't want to choke because I got this candy still in here. Okay. But that's when they be like, "In the Lord," that's hooping.
Oh.
Well, there is a class offered, allegedly, but it is. There's classes out there that teach you how to hoop.
It sounds like different, like really specialized speech classes. Because there's different styles of speech.
Look at you, look at Birdie.
So,
Nick, you hear Amber D? She gonna come up with a reason. Like, let's analyze this. That's speech.
But no, it makes sense. And when you explain whooping, I definitely have heard sermons where they utilize that. Speech pattern. I don't know what the correct.
Well, guess what? I won't be signing up. Look, I won't be signing up for that. No, not having that, ma'am or sir. The prayer class, no, and you have your own, you get your own relationship with God. He'll understand what you're saying.
Exactly.
And that's when Nick, I knew where you were going with
Basically,
that.
that's where I was going.
Mm-hmm. I knew where you were going, and you'll have an understanding. So that's that on Juanita Bonham. I just had to go ahead and Her out there.
Once you're in tune with God, He will reveal to you and show you what He wants you to see. So that goes along with prayer. Like, He understands. He's going to understand however you pray to Him. He understands you. That's your relationship, and He will guide you. Period, point blank. No $1,500 needed.
And then after your prayer, you'll be like, oh, man, that was cold. Can't repeat it. Everybody be like, hey, man, you be like, oh, right here. What you got, Amber, before we go to the next one?
Okay, I just really quick, I just wonder, I'm thinking about, like, New Age, like witchcraft, or there's not as controversial term for that, but as far as, like doing like spell work and stuff like that.
What?
But when you're talking about teaching and like how you say like how do you like teach prayer, like that's kind of the only way it would make sense to me if there's like if she's teaching certain tasks and acts that you're supposed to do. Or I feel like I've seen this before where people will teach classes on how to tap into and increase your intuition. Which is
it ain't going to be doing witchery and bind the devil. It ain't going to be doing that part, but I understand your point.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how are you teaching?
Well, go ahead and pay your $1,500, Amber D, and let us know what happened.
I ain't got that kind of money.
Like he goes, let us know how it went. I'm curious to know.
Yeah.
All right, Life Jennings, R&B artist Life Jennings is out there buzzing. His name is buzzing. Guess why?
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. I'll tell you why from a listening audience. Because he had sang for Jeff Dahmer when they was locked down together. So people are upset that he sang for Jeff Dahmer. He was like, oh, that was my boy. It was cool. Now, people don't understand but watch this. Hold on. And that's how people felt like, oh, okay, he was killing and eating, people, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't just black guys. So let me be clear. I got to put that out there because they keep saying, and black gay guys. All of them were not gay. And it wasn't that he just sought out for gay guys. He was actually gay. So he would meet them in the bars. Most of his people were in the bars. I don't want to say clientele because they weren't willing participants. Okay. But when you are locked up with somebody, and I'm talking about for real prison time, not, county time where it's like 30 days, boom, boom. Prison time, when you're locked down with somebody, you get to meet that person. Do you look at their crime? Here's the thing. Most people don't even know the crimes when they send you to different places because you're not watching television, depending on where you're located in the prison and how long you have been in there. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. And I'm not on his side either way, even though I like Life Jennings. But he actually shared that, he would be singing because he was a porter. Porters are people that clean up. And he would be singing. And then, and this is from Life. This is what he said. I'm paraphrasing. He was like, oh, do you know this song? And the song that he liked was Pretty Brown Eyes. That was like one of his fave songs. Not that it was like coincidental, but he liked that song. And he said, and I just sang it. He said, and he didn't realize all of everything that was going on because you got to realize Akron, Milwaukee, you know what I mean? And the reason, let's be real, let's go with George Floyd, and I'm not comparing them, so don't jump on me. If it was not visible for us, think about it. If we didn't see it and the world didn't see what happened, we may not even know about it. Only the people in that area. So that's why I'm speaking, about Life Jennings on his side a little bit. Because people are like, how can you sing to somebody? If you don't know, you don't know. And it's not like they go in there and say exactly what they did. Because if he went in there and said what he actually did, he probably wouldn't have lasted that long. Just like child molesters. So those people, the inmates that are in there, most of them, they keep their paperwork with them. They keep their paperwork with them because if somebody asks them, what are you here for? They'll be like, okay, well, let me see. Because that determines the relationship you're going to have on that unit or that pod. Just saying. All right. I just had to put that out there. That's my boy, Life Jennings. And y'all doing it wrong. Y'all acting like he 50 out here. Y'all
no, so he didn't know Jeffrey Dahmer was Jeffrey Dahmer?
Right. He didn't know who he was till after. And I can see that because it wasn't. And the only reason that, and I'm being honest, being from Youngstown, I just remembered the whole Akron when it came out. And it was like, Akron, Ohio, what? When we heard about it. You know what I mean? So that's why. If that was the case, I wouldn't know. And then you have people that were like, oh, I saw all the other movies. I didn't see all the other movies. I was on Netflix. I was like, oh, I remember that's the guy that was doing this just recently. And then I watched it and I still feel the same way. I feel as though it was giving the victims a voice. It actually, and I could appreciate him telling them where they were. You know, he had an illness, clearly, you know, but it's like, yeah, okay, your illness at the expense of my family member. I get it. I totally get it. I'm not okay with that part at all. But what I watched, I saw where the victims had a voice, and it showed that these were innocent people. These were great people. And this person just grabbed up great people, you know, and tricked great people into coming there. And it's like, oh, yeah, for a little bit of money. And just like that one incident, and I'm just going to, spoiler alert, that guy was in the car. His car wouldn't start. That was it. His car wouldn't start. And dude said, well, you can come back to my place and then I can get my car. He said, no, I'm cool right here. Typical black answer. You know what I mean? No, I'm good. And then he said, this is a very bad neighborhood. And he was like, okay. And then when he got out, he was like, make sure you lock your door, letting him know it was a bad neighborhood. So he figured, okay, this is a cool dude. I'll just go right there. Did he want anything to drink? No. And he said no. When he offered him alcohol, he was like, no. He's like, well, how about some coffee? You figure that's innocent. He was like, all right, come on. I need to get back to my car. That was the purpose. And then,
never left.
Wait a minute. But no, I probably could have. I can see that. Like, okay, nice. I come. Hey, you okay? No, I'm not coming. And then you build that trust really fast. And then he ended up making it out because the grandmother came down. But we already knew what was going to happen. But that's why I said that movie actually showed the people, the victims, or the potential victims, the people that could have. And it's like, no, these are good people. You know, not some scumbags, here you go. And some people feel like, oh, okay, well, since they were gay, they deserved it. No, all of them weren't gay. And just because they were gay, they don't deserve it.
Don't mean they deserved it, no.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
So he preyed on just peopling. So there was no, like, I'm going out here, I'm out to get the bad person, I'm out to get, I believe this. It wasn't nothing like that. It was a desire that he had, which was pretty sick, you know, real talk. So I just wanted to, don't get on my boy like Jennings like that. That's all I'm saying, like Jennings. I'm going to hurry up and give it to you because I did not give it to you. I got to do it. Let's talk about the fashions. And that's the part that I miss. Talk about the fashions. Yes, the great fashions for the fall. Your girl got you covered. Fall fashions of 2022 after Fashion Week in New York and all that good stuff. I got it all for you, okay? Listen, what's going on? The puffy quilted coats, the little short coats, they are back in, they never left, but they're the lightweight ones. Remember back in the day, we used to use the little quilted coats. That's back in. The oversized sweater jackets are back. Y'all remember that? Layer, and that's what we do. Let me tell you what the color is first. The color, fall 2022, yellow. I kind of knew that early on, didn't I? Yellow is the color. However, hot pink is doing its thing. Hot pink is actually doing its thing this year. But yellow is the color for the fall fashion of 2022. So, sweatsuits. Y'all know the sweatsuits with the crop top. I'm actually making a motion for the people that can actually see me. The sweatpants with the sweatshirts that were like cropped right at the waist with the turtleneck and the strings. Y'all remember that? Making a comeback. They just like tweaking it a little bit, but it is the turtleneck, loose turtleneck sweatshirts with the sweatpants are back. The hoodies are the long hoodies. These are for my ladies. The long hoodies that come down past the butt. That with a pair of jeans. Put yourself a nice trench coat over top of that with the hood out. Boom. It'll pop with some steel-toe boots. That's back in too. Because that was back like in 92, I want to say. Yeah, I'm dating myself. Jumpsuits are back. Any type of jumpsuit, they are back. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. Even the gather at the ankle. Remember those? The gather at the ankle and the palazzo pant type jumpsuits. So jumpsuits are back, especially the ones with the wide legs. I want to let you lovely people know that. The plaid shirt never went out of style. We know that with Sadie Hawkins and all that other stuff.
Right.
Never went out of style. However, let me say this. We are not doing it was about 2 years ago when they had the to the ankle plaid shirts that came. They dropped all the way down cold. I got 2 of them back there. I probably need to put them up since they out of style now. Look, here, would you like a shirt for free? You ain't got to pay me $1,500, okay? But the plaid button-down shirts are back in. Not the oversized ones like you used to, what was it, like your boyfriend jeans? And the chicks would wear the oversized plaid shirts with like TLC used to do back in, 91 sometime, 93? Anyway, it's the fitted ones. So you're buying your plaid shirts to fit now. That's what we're doing. The Indian print shawls are in. Indian print shawls. Yes, the shawl. Throw the shawl over. That's what is doing it now. They doing it. They like, oh, yeah, we're in here. We got it. We're back. What is it? Who made the Cleveland Indians? You know, they made the playoffs. Oh, Cleveland Guardians. I'm sorry. And so now
they changed their name too.
Well, it's the Guardians now, so it's a G. So they're no longer the Indians.
This cancel culture thing.
I get it. Okay, I get it.
You get it? Okay, we'll talk. Let me hurry up and get through this. Young girls, listen, this is what's going on. The tunic dresses. As for my college students, when I say younger. Some people older can do it too. The tunic dresses are back in with the rain boots. So get your rain boots out. That's what's happening again. And I know like the young girls, they'll kind of like do that thing. And then the duster cardigan. The duster cardigans. Y'all know about that, right? Can go with anything. Just your oversized sweater. That's just what that is, and that's back. So for the accessories, bracelets, and more bracelets, and stud earrings. That's where they going. I like my hoops, so I'm going to still be rocking that. So 'tis the season. Look, 'tis the season, lovely people. So if you see some things, or go back in your closet if you have not. Listen, I'm not telling you not to wear your stuff. We've been locked down for 2 whole years. Wear that stuff. It still got tags and stuff on it, okay? Totally up to you. Mix and match it. Do it how you want to. If you are one who do not recycle your clothes, y'all, I want to see y'all out here. Snap some pictures. Let us see it. For those who do recycle your clothes, go look in them little chests. Be like, I put this away 30 years ago. Let me see. I think I got that. Go ahead and rock it. Oh, see, you got the hoops. So she's staying with her hoops too. Oh, there's the studs. Yes, the studs are in.
Damn.
So here's the thing, though. When you wear your studs, bracelets, your bangles, remember all those stuff? They back to that, like late 70s.
I used to love wearing all my bangles and everything. Yeah.
So that is your fashion and your girl. I got you covered on what's happening. And like I said, tis the season. This is cuffing season. But it's a whole lot of people that's splitting up. Like, what's her name? Tia and Tamara. Yeah, but Tia, she's splitting up, with her dude. Giselle and Tom Brady, and that's making some noise because he played football again. She said, you go back, I'm done. And some of the fellas feel like, oh, okay, so he's working. So you're mad that he's working. So you're going to leave him because he's working. And they've been together for 16 years. Tom Brady.
Well, I would think it's more than about playing football. It's
you
more
know
about
it is.
him putting his life in danger and might turn into a vegetable or something.
Well, you know what I think it is? When you have children and when you marry somebody. So if you're working, you're married to your job. When is it going to be my turn? When are we going to be able to travel? When are we going to be able to enjoy ourselves? When are we going to be a family? Because a lot of people, y'all don't understand. When you have children and you're working these jobs, and yeah, we want you to have that job, but I didn't marry you to be a single parent. And those are
single mother.
See? And there you have it. So at some point you got to be like, okay, what are we doing? You know what I mean? And he retired out and then he decided to go back. So she said, I'm out. And I'm not mad at her. She wants to live her life. She wants to enjoy her life, not be at every single game, just cheering you on. It look all well and good, but what about the things that I want to do? What about our family gatherings? What about our family reunion? The things like that. So those are things that you have to take into consideration. Now,
right.
Let's talk about this whole this fat acceptance. Because I'm looking at the time. Fat acceptance. We right on track. It's a new trend. I guess yesterday was like Fat Day or something like that. I know I'm saying it wrong. I don't have the correct verbiage right now. But yeah, it was like, no, the 6th. I think the 6th. October 6th was some type of day for like Big Girl Day or something like that needed to be celebrated. Well, there's a fat acceptance, body positivity movement. And I was watching the Dr. Phil show and they were talking about it, and they had these people on there talking about it, and they were overweight and saying how this is the new movement, and if you're big, embrace yourself and all that extra stuff. Do you remember how when Monique, remember Big Girls, remember that was like part of her act, the comedian Monique, and then she lost weight and her big girl people turned on her. Just like when I was watching the Dr. Phil show. So you have these obese people. I'm going to say obese, not overweight because I'm overweight. But you have these obese people that are like, yeah, and I mean morbidly obese. Yeah, this is who we are and this is it, and you will accept us. So they want us, and when I say us as a whole, everybody to accept them and I guess praise them for being big. Yes. And then there was one, and you want to bully everybody else who aren't as big as you. And I'm not going to be watching my words because this is too much. It is. It's too much because you have really, really thin people who have that same issue. And they're not saying, oh, okay, well, this is what it is. Now, somebody in the audience, and I was glad that she actually spoke up. She said, okay, wait a minute. She was like, so because you can't be this way, you just say, this is who I am and you guys have to accept it. When we were accepting you as you were anyway, it was how you felt about yourself that's unacceptable. And then now you're saying, changing the narrative to say, no, this is it. Or promoting being big, promoting other people to be big. What's your thoughts on that?
I think socially it's, just a preference thing, but medically it's very straightforward. Being obese is not healthy. Mm-hmm. You're compromised, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why Monique lost weight. I feel like that's the main reason why they all lose weight. A lot of these fat celebrities, is usually a big part of their brand, and so it's beneficial for them to stay big, but your health truly is your wealth. And unfortunately, some people are just so slow that they don't understand that your health is your wealth until their health is taken away from them, until it starts to catch up to them. And, that's just factual. It's not healthy. The person you are harming the most is yourself.
I think even with this whole movement, you're harming yourself. And it's trying to flip it, trying to change the narrative so that you are the majority and not the minority. And and what do I mean by that? Meaning that, okay, well, I stood out before. Well, now I'm trying to normalize this thing. So I'm going to normalize this where everybody else who is not morbidly obese feel like an outcast. If that makes sense. What you got, Nick, on this whole fat acceptance movement?
Yeah, I'm a big girl myself, and I don't accept it. I know it's my fault, and I'm the one that has to do something about it. And, I'll like with my food choices, I know they're not healthy. I'll go from not eating at all or just eating like one time a day to just eating whatever I want sometimes. So it's like, yeah, I'm a big girl. That don't mean I'm going to let anybody treat me any kind of way because I'm a big girl. But no, I don't accept it, and I don't agree with that as a big girl. I don't agree with that. I would much rather, because I've, over the last several years, put back on weight that I lost, and I'm kind of upset about that. I'm trying to get back to where I was. Actually, I want to be smaller than what I was several years ago. But yeah, like, I don't, that's a bunch of malarkey to me, period. And I'm speaking as a big girl and an obese girl. So yeah, no, I'm not accepting that. I know it's on me to have to do something with it. And to me, this fat acceptance thing is more or less of an excuse, because a lot of people don't have the willpower or don't want to change.
I can appreciate that. Because I kind of feel that way with a lot of this whole changing culture, is going from canceling culture to changing culture. And you got to have some type of baseline. And what it sounds like is that they're trying to make being obese, calling it positive body movement, and, i.e. fat acceptance movement, trying to change it where that's the baseline. No. So if you don't like
it, is a healthy person.
Absolutely. But here's what's happening though. So I don't like that baseline. I don't like that one because it makes me feel bad. So let me create my own baseline to make you all feel bad. That's what I see. There was a guy on there who was really, really big. And I think he lost 180 pounds. Well, guess what? He was with that group. He lost 180 pounds and that group started bullying him. And he lost, right. So it's like, okay, you don't like being bullied, but you become the bully. It's not okay. And it always happens. And it's like, wait a second. So then you're like, oh, woe is me. And then now you're the mean person. Did you always want to be that person? You know what I mean? Come on. If you didn't like it done, why do it?
Exactly.
It's just really different. Now, workplace bullying. I want to address this because it was brought to me. Someone was being bullied at their workplace. The Shop Talk question of the week. So let me get it to you. Shop Talk question of the week. I'm being bullied at work and my boss knows. What do I do?
HR.
Now, okay. And it sounds like a simple answer, right? Mm-hmm. It's not always. It's not. Have any of you guys ever, well, clearly, Amber D, you haven't dealt with the workplace bullying. You like HR? Especially if that boss has been working there and that HR person has been working there for a long period of time. So they kind of have an alliance. You know what I mean? They have that relationship. And what'll happen is they all look and turn and look at that employee who's actually being bullied and want to blame the employee for not responding the way that they expect the employee to respond. Go ahead. What you got, Nick?
I'm not the type to get bullied any type of way. Period. Point blank in the conversation.
But that's for you. No, that's for you. Life. But what would you give? What advice would you give the person that is?
If your boss know about it and they not doing nothing, then now it's time for you to defend yourself against this person. Sometimes, and that's the hard thing, because when you finally speak out against the person that's bullying you, then the tables sometimes do get turned. So this is what you do. Make sure, because they're always telling you, document. And then the age of phones and everything, you better record it. Record the response that you get from the boss. Record the response you get from HR. Get you a lawyer, and then go off on that person that keep messing with you. So when they try to turn the tables on you, you got your evidence and be like, okay, we could do this the easy way, or we could do this a hard way in court. But make sure you document everything. Get your phones out. Start recording people. Listen, I wish somebody, are you recording me? Yeah, are you still talking to me?
Yeah, the day of bringing your phone in, but sometimes you can't bring your phone into every workplace. Go ahead, Amber D.
I would give my advice would be the advice my mother gave me, which is to run it up the pole. So if you're not getting an adequate response from your supervisor, go to their supervisor, and then go to there. You go right all the way up to the top if you need to. And also what Nick said, document. Also limit communication to written. So like emails. So it's not. So there's less verbal. And it's easier paper trail. And you can CC people because I'm the queen of CC. And so, do those things. But yeah, you gotta, just go as high as you need to go. And then if that still isn't working, maybe look for another job. Because I do feel like workplace-related stress is not worth it. It's almost never worth it, ever.
And you know what? I have to say that's good advice. But here's the thing. If you can't go to another job, so you're getting paid an amount that you appreciate getting paid, and it's, it's working for you. And it's like, why do I have to leave because this person ran me out? I actually witnessed workplace bullying. I witnessed it so much that I sent that staff person home, the one that was the victim. Now, why did this happen? It was one employee. I still haven't seen her yet. I don't know what she just disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't know if she just came just to drop in my space. But this particular person was bullying a lot of people at the job. She bullied this one of our coworkers so bad that she broke out in hives. Now, I didn't witness that part of it, but I was in the office and I heard her say, "I will effing kill you," to another employee. She said that. So
Could you repeat that, please?
Okay. She told the other employee, I'm in the office, and I didn't hear any of the, the other stuff too much. I didn't hear that. All I heard was, in a loud voice, "I will effing kill you." Well, you know what that means. Get up.
That's a threat.
Yeah, it's a threat. Here's the thing. The one that did that threat kept going to the boss, saying, different people, she's a bully, she's a bully, she's a bully. So she says this to this girl. And when I jumped up at that point, I'm like, you go that way. What happened? The girl had hives. She was crying. She never said anything to her. And she said, "I don't know what I did." She was like, "I just said, hi, good morning," or whatever. And she was right. From what I seen in our encounters, I never seen that. Her even really talk to her. And she said, "I don't know what I did to her." I said, "You didn't do anything." Then I saw it was bothering her, started affecting her physically because she had hives. Right, she didn't know what it was. I was like, no. So I call the boss. And I really feel like our boss was afraid of the bully.
Wow.
I do. Because she wouldn't do it, but just talk to her. And so I sent her home. And I told her, I said, I just sent her home. I don't care about us working short. She cannot work under these circumstances. And for your job, you would have sent her home too. Because it can go up. The girl could have got workers' comp. Okay? Or sued the company. So it's like, oh, let's fix this. Then you had somebody who wrote a letter about the bullying because now I'm getting ready to attack you. Well, if you're the person like me, us, oh, you ain't coming for me. And you type out a letter. And you had a letter. You got a copy too. You know what I mean? But one was left on the printer. So that bully is related to somebody in management. And then you call up the ladder. So clearly up the ladder corporate, they talk to their people who they're directly connected to. And the staff person doesn't have a leg to stand on. Watch this. So there was a letter there, boom, and it was on the printer still, one of them. but it was CC'd and everything. Then you get a call because it was CC'd. So the management try to call corporate because they know that's who CC'd in this to say what's going on about this particular individual, same employee, going up the ladder, as you guys are saying. Well, corporate calls the person who wrote the letter. When corporate calls the person who wrote the letter, which was me, I'm going to put it out there, okay? It was me. I wrote the letter. I was like, oh, you got like toe up. And about the incidents that have occurred, like, it's not going anywhere when you go to your direct supervisor. And then the direct supervisor going to the regional, it's not going anywhere because they're in cahoots. So now you go up top. So they call me. Yeah, it's easier for me to just tell the story. They call me to come in. Now they want me. And then they talked about my being inspired. That has nothing to do with what's going on at the workplace, okay? And I said, well, if they was like, well, social media, we don't have. I said, nobody said anything about you on social. What are you talking about? I said, if you had listened to the Be Inspired, you would have known. I said, but I do this and I've been doing that. I said, that has nothing to do with your job. But today, right now, it does. And so when I never said the name, they're like, well, they know where you, no, they don't. But see, now you're bothering me to protect this bully who's bullying everybody. Not me, but now you're bothering me, trying to find outs. They couldn't do anything about it. You know, they were like, oh, well, we'll investigate. Investigate what? You don't need to investigate me. I'm letting you know what's going on up in here and how nothing's being done. And that's why you can't get anybody to work there. Because everybody's left. So eventually, I don't know what happened to the girl. She no longer works there. Then they reach out to me. And which was really interesting. So when I got that workplace thing, I was like, ha. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not working there. But I quit. I quit right then. I was like, oh, you don't have to worry about. Wait, you want to do what now? Want to lightweight suspend me for letting you know what's going on. You see that? Exactly. Yeah, Nick's face for the listening audience. It's like, wait, what? So that's what's happening though. So you let somebody know what's going on. It don't have nothing to do with you, but you see this and it is affecting me because it's bothering my heart that these people are here and these are great workers and it's bothering me because now I got to do more work because this chick running everybody off. You know what I mean? So that's why it's affecting me. But now you want to come to the person who says things and that happens. It's like, oh, okay, well, the squeaky wheel get the grease. Well, not in all cases. The squeaky wheel gets the termination or gets under the wire or under the microscope. So let's find something wrong. They couldn't find anything wrong with me. I left and a lot of my coworkers like, where did you go? This is not where I want to work. And that's what we have to determine. We have to look at the situations that we'll find ourselves in and say, is this something that I even want to do? You know what I mean? Do I even want to work for you? No. And I wrote a letter to the actual company. I told them, I was like, oh, I'll never work for that company. And I said, why? But I wrote the actual company. This is it. And that's why you're constantly on Indeed. I'll shout out Indeed. I like Indeed. That's why you can't find anybody because of how the way your setup is. And you can go up the ladder, up the ladder, up the ladder. And then you got to be careful because when you go up the ladder, up the ladder, up the ladder, it didn't affect me. But for somebody who actually needs their job and have to pay their bills, and this is their only means of income, now they're threatened from up top. Like, why did you mention anything? So some people just go along to get along just to get their check, which it'll affect them physically.
That's what happens to the whistleblowers. You
have to get in.
I was a whistleblower.
You got to sue that company. Then you got to sue that company. That's the only thing that's going to stop that kind of behavior. People are afraid because you don't want to spend the money, but people are afraid to get into. That's the only thing that's going to stop that.
Watch
behavior.
this. Most people who don't sue the company is because we, as a society, or as a culture, you know what I mean? Your work friends. You're like, okay, if I do this, they're all going to lose their job too. So sometimes you prevent doing things to save somebody else. And it's like, okay, well, if I just leave, I won't affect them. But in the long haul, everybody's being affected. And then you might have that person that's way up top. So you're right, Nick. that have no idea. And to them, they're being, they're presenting themselves to that person as, oh, we're great, we're a team, we're doing this and that. And that may not actually be the case. You know what I mean? But it's interesting how we're talking about a workplace bully and you talking about my being inspired. I'm glad. And you know what I told her? I was like, oh, good. I said, make sure you subscribe. I said, like and comment. Like, comment, and share. I did, because you got the wrong person. You thought like, okay, what people do with their social media or people talking on social media. I said, you should have clicked and listened to it. You might like it. My stuff is all positive. So you just went with it, but you don't know me. You know why you went with it? You went with it because somebody tried to cover themselves and probably told you something abstract and you thought you knew me and you don't. You're just taking the words of somebody else. So if you are in management, and that's my place, I've been in management, you have to hear both sides and don't just take a side. Matter of fact, don't take any side. Just be that listening ear and be a problem solver. That's what you have to do. Be a problem solver and not take sides. But the workplace bullying is real. It happens and it's easy if you could just go in and be like, okay, I'm out of here. I quit. But everybody, they don't have that luxury. They don't have that luxury. And I do appreciate my shop talkers who did comment on there. So I'm sure that she's going to look and take the best advice. Don't take advice that's going to cost you more money. And I heard you, Nick, when you said some people don't like to spend that money. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, get an attorney. If you hit somebody, you're going to have to spend more money if you're violent, because then you're in jail. Then you got to get an attorney and a bond.
Right.
So let's be smart about this thing and then being adults. And it's sad because you figure, children who are bullied as kids, when you're a child in school, you're being bullied and then you'll hear your parents say, oh, okay, well, you won't have to worry about that when you're an adult. Or you hear your peers say, you don't have to worry about that when you're an adult. Those people, those bullies grow up and they're in the workplace.
Yep.
And you still may have to deal with it. It's coping.
With nothing that I don't want to. You ain't gonna bully me, period.
Well, depending on the money. So now, look, depending on the money, how much would you put up with? You know what I mean? Because let me say this, because bullying, it could just, you could just say certain things just around the person. And to me, you could say what you want. That never affected me. So if if you don't like being around someone, you don't have to be around them because there's different places to go. So that's why I'm saying, there's some ways to get around it, because that's that indirect bullying. Or if you actually contact with me, that's a problem. But that's not it. It's verbal now. That's what's happening verbally. So please stop talking to me. You know what I mean? And I can tell you every single person under the sound of my voice have worked with somebody that they don't get along with. And it's okay because I didn't know you ahead of time. You know what I mean? We can have a work relationship. That's all that matters, as long as it's it's work related. And I did put that in that letter too, because it was affecting work. So you don't even want to give. I ain't gonna say all of that of the work that I actually do, but this is affecting the work now.
Right.
So if you don't, if it doesn't affect the work, then all is well. We don't have to like each other. But if it's affecting the work, then that's an issue for the company.
Right.
And so with that, with the workplace bullying, please stop. It's not okay. It's not cute. It doesn't make you feel any better. And let's be real. If it makes you feel like you puffed up and you feel like somebody and you got a superpower, when you go home, that person is not there for you to bully. So how do you feel? The way that you felt before you came there to bully somebody? So the issue is actually the bully. So let's stop. All right. And on that, I'm like, and on that note, I want to put this phone number down here. And the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Because some people can't tolerate the things that we can actually deal with. That's on the panel.
They can only text 988.
988. So Suicide and Crisis Lifeline for the listening audience. 24/7. They're available. SMS 988. So you don't have to dial that like 1-800 number. You'll be like, okay, what were those numbers? So you can just text 988 and somebody will be there for you if you are dealing with any type of bullying. Okay? And this is real. And some people feel like, oh, okay, you grown. Like, That shouldn't be an issue. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. I've been on a few jobs where I've had a couple, including supervisors, try to bully me. They met the verbal assassin and they left me alone. Period. With the capital P at the end. Again. Like, seriously. That's one thing. And I've told her, listen, I don't care what your position is. I respect your position because you worked hard for it. But you're going to respect me as a grown-ass woman doing the job that I'm supposed to do and doing it very well. You're not going to bully me. You're not going to stand over me. We're not doing that micromanagement, and you're not going to disrespect me, because then that's when we're going to have problems.
Okay.
I tell people that.
Can I speak as a manager real quick? Micromanage. You cannot say you can't micromanage. Now watch this. There are different management styles, Nick. There's different management styles. And to be honest with you, you start off being the micromanager because it falls on us. Now, once we know that you can do the job, then we'll scale back.
This is the thing, though. They knew, like, all of a sudden, all of nowhere, you want to just say, no, we're not going to do that. Okay. Like, I've been doing this for too long. You're not going to do that.
Go ahead, Amber D. Go ahead, Amber D.
This reminds me of the Lego movie where Lord Business was like, send the micromanagers. And they're like, micromanaging.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Like, sometimes, like, I can see when I first started, but not after I've been there while doing the job that I'm supposed to be doing, and all of a sudden you want to just start nitpicking at little certain things. No, we're not going to do that. We're grown. You're not going to disrespect me and talk to me all crazy, because you got to get, there's some managers and supervisors, because they have that title that they think they can talk to people any old kind of way. You got the right one.
Now, and you have to set boundaries, but it's not.
And I do.
It's how you say it. I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
No, when I'm at work, I'm very professional with it, but I let them know. I'm not the one you want to bully at all. You're not going to disrespect me. If you want me to respect you in your position, you're going to respect me with mine. Period. You're not going to come at me, talk to me crazy. We are grown. We are two grown adults. Like, but I do it very professionally. Trust me, I do. But like I said, that's why I said the verbal assassin. They meet the verbal assassin and they leave me alone.
Okay, this is a good one. Go ahead, Amber D. You want to read the?
Sure. So Jason Thalel, forgive me if I've mispronounced it, from YouTube said, your attitude and respect is why people don't want to deal with micromanagers.
Okay, I can see that happening. So that's kind of like what Nick's, I mean, when you have that person, that's when I say go up the ladder. It's like, okay, I can't work with this person, and I should not have to change my shift because you put this person here, because that'll be the first option. And if you notice it happens all the time. It's like, okay, let's try to problem solve, but the problem might be that manager or that team lead. And it's like, this is the problem, and why should the staff have to rearrange their life for that team lead? Go ahead, Amber D. What you got?
I would just want to speak as a non-confrontational, sensitive person. Another piece of advice I would give to this individual, this person writing in, is to speak to your colleagues. If you're not comfortable confronting the bully, speak to other people that you work with that you are comfortable with, and you can share your feelings. And that'll also give you some enlightenment to see if maybe they're just targeting you or if they're treating everyone that way. And then also bringing more people into this, I believe, will help facilitate more brainstorming of solutions. So maybe if you go talk to another colleague and they can observe the dynamic between you and your bully, then they might have some ideas and make some suggestions to you on.
Lost her.
Everybody freak. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, though. It sounds like she's saying build a team so at the next staff meeting y'all can bombard y'all manager.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Any staff issues, we say that for last. Any issues, yeah.
Or how about give the bullies a taste of their own medicine? Maybe they'll quit.
Yeah, that's another option.
Give them a taste of their own medicine.
But wait, okay. You could give the bully a taste of their own medicine, but if your bully is your supervisor, your direct, your team lead, then that may cause an issue. And then here's the thing too, like we talked about burning bridges. I ain't gonna throw a grenade before I walk across it. I'll go along to get along till I get to what I need. Then I might be like,
you throw the grenade
and let it go.
You, not in front of you.
And you know what? I agree. I agree here. Here we go. Go ahead, Amber D.
So Jason Falafel of YouTube says you'll wind up deemed unprofessional and you'll be fired or let go.
And that's what always happens. That's why. Thank you. Wait a minute. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason, for putting it in those terms, because that's what I was talking about. Like, you throwing a grenade before you get there. Like, let me cross it first. You know what I mean?
I don't care. Y'all know I don't care. And that is why I work for myself now. But, like, at some point, you have to be able to stand up for yourself, regardless. Like, you can't sit there and go along and get along, and that's causing you undue stress.
Wait, let's be clear. Wait a minute, Amber D. Yes, go along to get along until you get what it is that you are there to get. That's what I'm saying. And here's the thing. So apply for other jobs first. Get your call. Get your interview. This is for the listening audience. Get your interview. Let them offer you the job. Be ready to go. You got to make sure it's a smooth exchange. You know what I mean? Not like, okay, wait a minute. Bye, see, quit. I quit. I'm fired, or you fired me. And I can't collect unemployment because of the way that I went out. Those are things that you have to take into consideration where you are not affected twice. What you got, Amber D?
I wanted to point out to what Nick said. That's why she works for herself. I think there's a lot of people actually who do better working for themselves. And it may be, I think like self-reflection is a great tool, because it could be that the whole being, subordinate or reporting someone else just doesn't work for a lot of people's personalities. And it may be in your best interest to work for yourself. Like, I work from home. I've worked from home years before the pandemic, and it's better for me. So realize like what works for you and what doesn't. And it could just be the whole thing.
Is that why you don't have to experience workplace bullying? You at the house? The only one to be bullied is your dog. Your dog. No, I'm talking to Amber D. I was talking about Amber D. Y'all got bullies at the house by yourself? What? Are you looking in the mirror like, help me? What's happening? Go ahead. What you got?
Trust me, I've experienced that. You got keyboard bullies too, supervisors, because you have the Zoom meetings and things, and they want to see your face. So you still have bullies even working from home.
Is that bullying if they ask to see your face, though?
No.
No, it's certain, like when they want to do Zoom meetings for certain things, though, and it's like, but I did the job you asked me to do. So now you calling me into a meeting to talk about the job that you asked me to do, that I did it exactly like you told me to do it. Now all of a sudden it was wrong. Yeah, I've experienced that. Okay.
That sounds like that's a communication issue. I'm not being on the side of management like that, but it sounds like it might have been, you said the job that you actually asked me to do, but I did it wrong. So maybe it was communicated wrong.
Well, I think, it's a communication.
A lot of times it can be.
It's communication. And then also just, like Nick said, question your ability to do the job, or, micromanaging, or say like, just, it tends to be subtle, but it's like language that is undercutting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've experienced that, and it wasn't nice. Let me tell you, one job that I had.
Now, if it's all, I'm like, is it bothering you that much? Don't share.
No, I mean, it was just like, she accused me. Okay, I was talking to a customer, and they had children in the background. Children were making noise. Okay, and I was called into a meeting because, they tell you when you work from home, you're supposed to be in a quiet environment. They don't want to hear any of your background noise, which everybody already knows that people are working from home now. So, but I was called into a meeting because they were listening to the call, and you have your kids and your kids in the background screaming, "Hold up! Wait a minute! Hold
on! Whose kids
First
was?
Of all,
wait! Whose kids were screaming in the background? It was at your background?
I ain't got no kids.
I know. That's why I'm like, help me to understand. Okay, go ahead.
Exactly. So this is what the supervisor said. Well, because we have ways of being able to tell whether the background noise comes from our agents or comes from... I was like, obviously you can't. I was like, because I don't have any children. I was like, and for somebody that can't have any children, and the few pregnancies I've had, it resulted in miscarriage. I said, you just insulted me. And I'm not happy with that. So yeah, I went above her head to the big boss about that one. I was so glad when I got another, and then when I got another job, to let them know, they was upset.
Okay. I understand that, but guess what? She thought it was you, and that was an error, and you put her in her place. You see that? I ain't swiveled my neck in a long time.
No, because
Nick, you put her in her place.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't think I still had it.
Talking to me.
I understand, but wait a minute. But, okay. What about this? We know you. But if you had said, I don't have any children, that's not me. Or that's not my background. I don't have any children. If you'd have just said that, instead of all of what you said, except for somebody who has some miscarriages, this and that.
I'm going to work up to that. I did say I don't have any children. That's when it was said to me, well, we have ways of being able to tell where the background noise comes from. That's when I got that attitude.
Okay. Oh, well, all right.
And I want to add to what Nick is saying, not to defend Nick, but just to point out that a lot of times it's the tone, and there is backstory, and there is, and it's the, like she insisted.
That it was her, yeah.
You could be wrong.
Yeah.
We backing Nick.
So
we backing Nick in this one.
Those are your kids, and you're like, actually, I don't have kids. And then they came back with, well, we got ways. That's when you got to escalate and then get the attitude. So you can like, boop, right in their place.
And that's where the attitude came from.
All right, Nick. That's what's up. We got you on this one. We got you on this show.
Listen, I ain't just going attack mode on. No, I was very professional. I'm sorry, I don't have any children now.
Did she apologize?
Hell no.
Oh, well, that's okay. All right.
The trick didn't apologize.
Okay. I could see that. Okay. I could see that. Now that would be an issue. All right, let's move on to this last one. Transgender youth. We're speaking about Dwayne Wade's and Gabrielle Union's stepdaughter, where Zaya steps.
He was born a boy. Did he go through the change? Did he have surgery yet?
Okay, let's make the boys there. Okay, so as I try to set it up.
Sorry.
But it's all good. Because that's where I want to go. She's now transitioning, whichever way that you term it. Now, this is what I noticed. I noticed that there are a lot of transgender youth. They're switching right now. What's your thoughts, and we're running out of time, what's your thoughts on allowing the transition as a minor and you being a parent? What's your thoughts on that?
Nope.
They're still too young.
Just watched an interview on YouTube. It was in Britain on a TV show, and about detransitioning. And detransitioning is becoming more of a topic, and I'm grateful for that because it's the balance And it's acknowledging that people change their minds and that these hormone treatments, not just the surgeries, but the hormone treatments as well, can give irreversible changes to the body. Irreversible. And not to be offensive, but I do feel like it is body dysmorphia. And when you are saying a part of my body isn't correct, when it's the standard anatomical part of a body, you have what you're supposed to have. You have the body and the chromosomes and the genitalia that are all in alignment. Now, there are very, very few true hermaphrodites with both sex organs. Most of these people are born one way, they're assigned by doctors one gender, and they have chromosomes that are in alignment with that gender, and they have genitalia that is, everything is in alignment. And you're like, well, no, I don't feel that way, and da-da-da-da. Now,
well, yeah, that's different than...
That's not the same thing. And so I think that it is very dangerous to be allowing children to make irreversible changes to their body based on a feeling. And that's what people don't want to talk about. It's a feeling. It is not physiological. It's emotional and mental. And I know they've done scans on transgender people's brains, and they do have some differences in their brain structure. But that's also in alignment with people who have other mental health issues.
Yeah, like you have children, you identify as either this sex or that sex, or now you have like at the schools where these children are identifying as pets. I identify as an elephant, and they're in the class making elephant sounds. And, remember I was telling you guys at the beginning of school, they were asking what was the question that they were actually asking? It was, do you identify as a boy or a girl, male or female? They were asking this at the beginning of school. Like, what happened to male here? Like, why are we so focused on the actual sex of an individual? Now, with this Zaya thing, this is what I want to talk about. It was Zion. Now he goes by Zaya. But his biological mother wasn't in agreement with this, allegedly. She wasn't in agreement with this. And now everybody wants to turn on the parent who's not in agreement. I was watching a show where a father was there and the son, he changed over, and I think his name was like Isaiah or Isaac or something like that. And he wanted him to call him whatever his name was, like Anita or something like that. And the father wasn't calling him that. So then the sister and the mother is attacking the dad and upset with the dad. Like, we're all going to oust him because he's not respecting you as being, transgender, and you are a female now. Well, that dad had a son. So why is it that, okay, I have to respect you, but you won't respect me and my beliefs? See, that's where the problem's at. And I feel bad for Zaya's mom, and we're focusing on Zaya's feelings, and I'm just going to use it as an example because Dwayne Wade, a public figure, everybody knows him, so that's what's popular. So we're focused on the child's feelings, but what about the parents' feelings? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Especially as a youth. When you're an adult, do you have a great time? But there you have that. What did you call it? Detransgendering?
Detransitioning.
Yeah.
So I think so back in, I want to say the 50s, 60s, up until pretty recently, transgenderism was considered a mental disorder. And I think that is accurate.
Well, I got to say this, just to put this out here. I seen some of that, and some of these guys that's transitioning into women, they're not attractive. Like, I just got to say it. I seen this guy on there, and I was like, ooh, like Bruce Jenner. Like Bruce Jenner, like, that was an ugly broad. Kim, please help him. Help.
I've seen worse.
Help him.
I think that being a woman is not limited to just your exterior shell.
You got a whole dress. Listen, you want to transgender. Now, Zaya, I'm be honest. That's a pretty little girl. You know what I mean? You know, this is what you identify as. Can you please really identify? Like, I want to see the fashions. I want to see it all. But I seen some people and I'm looking like, oh, okay. And then you're upset that somebody say, sir, ma'am, sir. Like, we don't know, because it could be a guy like Dennis Rodman who likes to dress up in dresses. It could be just a guy. You know, I'm getting confused. And I want to, so I'll just give you my advice because we're running out of time. You know, be who you want to be. But I think as a child, you're giving parents to guide you. And you got 7-year-olds that want to drive a car. And we're like, no. No. You know what I'm saying? Wait until you are an adult to make a decision, because that could be something that you might be like, oh, I was just going through a phase. I didn't even realize it. And then what are you going to do? You already know they're going to point the finger and say, well, why did you allow me to do it? You know what I'm saying? And I think that even, you know, younger people who do transition or come out and all that other stuff, allow the parents some time too, because as a parent, I'm going to speak from a parent. I know what I birthed. I know what I had. And all of those memories as a parent, I'm keeping it 100, all those memories that I may have as a parent, and then you decide to change, you just deleted all of my great memories because you wanted, you know, you're like, okay, well, I want to be a girl. Well, I'm remembering all the boy incidences, like early in the morning when I change your pamper, boop, and you go, you know, you pee all over the place. You know what I mean? Those are things, and it might seem minor, but as a parent, you got to allow the parent that time. I don't have that issue, but I'm saying, as a parent, the memories from day one when we finally give birth, and we're looking at our little baby, and you have been my baby, and I chose your name specifically, and that's why I felt for that father. And, you know, a father's son, fathers want sons. It takes some counseling on the father's part as well. So it's like, okay, focus on my emotions and how I feel and my feelings, and forget yours. You're an adult, deal with it. Well, you're saying that you're an adult. How come you can't deal with the way that I'm feeling? Because you are erasing all of my memories, and I have to start from this day as you being, you know, a female. I'm just saying, look at both parts. That's all I'm saying on this. Leah Thomas. Now, this is where, to me, I ain't that focused on the sexes of people. I'm going to be real. I'm really not. I don't know why we have to even deal with who you sleep with, what you do. Like, I'm not that interested. Because, you know, the new Scooby-Doo, Velma's supposed to be gay.
I saw that.
She's supposed to be like a lesbian.
Velma was in love with Shaggy. They need to quit.
With a dog, right? I'll take the gay. I'll take the gay over the animal. Oh, no, Shaggy. Oh, the white guy. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Scooby. Oh, yeah. Okay, so with the roughneck. With the roughneck. But now she's coming out this way. But it's a cartoon. Just like what they was doing with the Rugrats, with the twins' mother. Like, this is a cartoon. Are we really that invested? Okay, here you go. Follow me. What's her name on Charlie Brown? Peppermint Patty. Mm-hmm. It was your Peppermint Patty. Just be the character you are. I don't care who, because, you know, when you look at it now, since they got all this stuff out there, I was like, oh yeah, maybe Peppermint Patty was gay. Maybe the volleyball.
I got gay vibes from her.
Okay, but guess what?
I did too, but
right.
We didn't speak on it.
We did. It's not. What was her name? Peppermint Patty. That's it.
Exactly.
And it's like, why can't we just like let it? Peppermint. Who cares? I don't care what she got up underneath there. Like, I ain't interested. And, you know, the volleyball thing off the Rugrats, the volleyball coach, the mother of the twins. I wasn't that interested. You know what I mean? But, you know, now that you bring it to the forefront, oh, maybe she did it. And it's a cartoon and you drew it. Like,
I mean,
tell me the storyline. That's all I care about. Solve a mystery in the Scooby-Doo. The Rugrats being bad. Like, just stick to the storyline. Peppermint Patty just walking around. And guess what I noticed about Peppermint Patty? I ain't care nothing about who she liked. Do she like boys or girls? I was like, now Peppermint Patty still got them flip-flops on.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
In the wintertime.
Wintertime, right? Charlie Brown, the pumpkin patch, the Christmas, she still got flip-flops on. That was all I was focused on. Maybe because I'm interested in fashion. Maybe some people are interested in who they sleeping with because they like attracted to Peppermint Patty. I don't know. You're attracted to a cartoon. I don't know what's going on these days. But when you deal with transgender in sports, I think we have an issue.
And children.
Well, okay. Well, we got to go deep. We're going to have to go deep. That might be to be continued. But with the sports, I think that's an issue. I think if you look at Bruce Jenner, we brought her up. What's her name? Caitlyn. We brought Caitlyn up. Now, on the Wheaties box, the bomb smoked everybody. Okay? Competing as a male. If he competed as Caitlyn, or you know what I mean, y'all know what I mean, and ran against women, oh man, it would have went down in history. So now you got Leah Thomas, the swimmer, and they're trying to say that Leah, her hormone level is down to like a female's. But she's winning everything. You remember that track girl that ran and it was transgender, was a guy and beat all the women out? I think that's totally unfair because of muscle mass.
Yeah, and like I said, those hormones, permanent physiological changes in the body. Okay, hers hormone levels are down to a woman at this moment. They've been up the whole rest of his life, and you know what? You know what? I'm glad you said that, down to a woman's. That's the only thing that like changes when you look at the hormone levels. When you draw blood, the hemoglobin will be at a female's level. That has nothing to do with the muscle mass. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the endurance, let's be real. Because you know, with hemoglobin comes your energy, you know what I mean? And you be like, okay, wait, but you're competing. So these women are losing to this guy. Yep.
Or to a female who used to be a guy. I think it's unfair. I think it's only affected in sports. But that's just my opinion. Go ahead.
I want to point out, even though as someone who doesn't follow sports, if you actually read what a lot of men think, I do feel like a lot of this transgender trending is women. It's facilitated and being enabled by women. Because men are a lot more savage about it. I mean, if there is no holds bars, F your feelings, it is what it is. Like, it's a very different, and I feel like that's why it's always transgender women crying about stuff, but the transgender men are silent because natural born men are not playing that. So I feel like it's women need to take accountability for how they've contributed to this cultural thing going on in America right now.
Do you believe in a parent pushing a child to be one way?
Yeah, and because I feel like definitely it's like stage moms for sexual orientation, and I feel like because I do. Can
I bring up an actor?
Go ahead.
Charlize Theron. Now she's calling her son a girl, and they're saying that the son is transgender. How does he know he's transgender? He's still young, like what? Still young, number one. And she's been putting dresses on that boy since she got him when he was 1 or 2.
Yep.
Did she want a little girl?
Actually pushed. Why didn't you go adopt a little girl then?
Yep. And I feel like
then you had to go and adopt a black one. Come on now.
Well, yes, I do, and I definitely think that there is grooming. That's what it sounds like. Grooming.
She groomed. Talk about, he wanted to wear a dress. He was 1 year old. He did. Stop playing with me, woman. Stop doing it. Why didn't you get? Now, I'm not trying to sound prejudiced, or racist or anything, but why didn't you get a little white boy then? And push him that way. Why did you have to adopt? Because everybody had an issue with her adopting a little black boy in the first place. But why didn't you adopt a little white one and push him that way? Or how about this? If you want a daughter, get a daughter. Black, white, Chinese, whatever. Get a daughter. Why did you have to get a little boy? Start dressing him in dresses from a baby, and now all of a sudden he's transgender. You pushed him that way. You started dressing him like a little girl as soon as you got him. That's like ridiculous to me.
Okay.
But, you know, grooming and, like, pedophilia and, like, all this sexual deviant behavior is really normal in Hollywood. In that particular industry.
Well, Nick said she ain't okay with it. But we got her in the car pulled over, like, pull over, let's talk about this.
No, something was in here all of a sudden.
Okay, let's go. To each his own. And I feel you in that situation. It's like, are you forcing this on this baby? You know what I mean? Or is this baby really just going that direction? But no, I'll say, let me tell you this. I'm going to share this, which my grandson went to daycare for the first time. Am I for daycare? I'm not. I believe don't go until they're able to speak and understand what racism is and somebody touching their area and understand it. Because I didn't have mine until they was able to talk. I need to know what's going on. Well, I saw a picture actually. And it was a picture which was so interesting. On the top of it was, they had like dolls and everything there. That was eye level for them. And then they had another shelf of books and another shelf of whatever was down there. I think the trucks. Now this is a baby. The first thing, the one picture I see, it was that he grabbed. It was one black doll that was there. The doll didn't have any clothes on though, not dresses nor pants. So that was kind of cool. You know, he picks up the black doll. He found the black doll and he picked up what was familiar to him. And I thought that was pretty cool because I'm looking at the intellectual level like, oh, look at that. Like-minded. So to say that, I'm saying, oh, okay, that's why the little girls like the Black Little Mermaid. You know, so I got some understanding. Then the thing he was stuck with was this car and this truck. That was his thing. So I'm like, okay. And that he held on to that. But you introduce them to everything and see. And just because a little boy is playing with a doll does not mean the child is going to be gay. Like, so you have those people out there. It's like, oh my gosh, no, we're not doing this at all. A child is being a child. And what I'm saying is they're innocent and they're exposed to everything and they choose. And we as parents tend to introduce them to, like, it's a boy, cars, trucks. This is what you're going to do. Bah, 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 bah. He's fascinated with wheels. All wheels, tires. That's his thing. And I'm like, oh, make sure you don't bite it, you know, when you figure out that they're rubber. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put it in your mouth, little baby. But they are going to decide what it is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But like I said, this particular daycare, I did like the fact that none of the dolls had clothes. So there was no, I think probably to eliminate that whole thing. And if you see one child playing, if you see one child playing with something, then it's normal for another child to come over and play with that same thing. What are we doing here? We're building friendships. We're building relationships. Okay, this doll is anatomically built like me, like my family. You know, so relax, people. That's all I'm saying. Just relax. And allow the child to play with whatever it is that they want to play with. But when you force things on babies, like you were talking about, Nick, that particular actress, like, come on. And then you wonder where racism starts, because we talk about that all the time. Racism starts at home. That's taught. Just as this whole gender fluid thing or whatever you're trying to project on your child. Instead of us getting a book and saying, let me read to my child. Let me stimulate their mind. We have become as a society so focused on, are you going to be gay or are you going to be straight or, you know, like, come on. We got to stop. Now, with the dresses, you want to dress your child want to be dressed in a dress. Why? Usually if you're single mothers, usually with boys, if they like their mother, you want your mother's attention, you're not getting your mother's attention, you begin to mimic behaviors of your mother with hopes that they'll accept you. And those are for the children that have those issues where the mother is living her life doing her doggone thing and the child is like, hello, I'm here. Oh, maybe if I do this, or my mother has a whole lot of gay friends, you know what I mean? Maybe if I act like this, she'll give me some attention. That's a little deeper. So everybody get some counseling if that's what you actually need. I do want to talk about next week on Shop Talk with Mel, and Amber brought it up. I'm about to get Amber some of this tea that the Mormons can't drink. Get some caffeine, girl. Get her some caffeine. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about transgenders and gay couples adopting children. And we're going to get a little deep. So I'm putting that out there for the lovely people. And if you would like to be part of the Shop Talk with Mel show, please email us at shoptalkwithmel@yahoo.com and say that you are interested in becoming a guest. We invite the Shop Talkers to come on the show. We definitely do that. All right. I'm getting ready to give you today's footnote. So let's give it up to my co-host today as they go ahead and sign off. Amber analysis. Actually, I'm gonna put y'all on the side. And Nick the voice. That's what I'm getting ready to do. I'm getting ready to shrink y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in to a Shop Talk with Mel. Today's footnote is learning to accept yourself is more important than making people accept you. It's how you see yourself that really matters. And you know that. And here's another thing that I do want to add to this. You can't want people to accept you and you don't accept yourself. So kind of look in the mirror, tweak some things. If you need some counseling, feel free to do so. I want to give this information for people who may be having issues with accepting themselves. I don't want you to leave here. I want you to be here. So I'm going to give you the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline number, and that is text it 988. There's always somebody there for you 24/7. So 988, text at any time. Anytime, if you feel like you even want to talk to somebody, they're there to help you. All right. That is my time, lovely people. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. And if you have a Shop Talk question and you need us Shop Talkers to help you through it, feel free to do so. That you can email as well. You can also text or leave a message to the number, which is 619-902-2287, 619-902-2267. Is that it? That's right. I think that's it. Nod your head, lovely.
6-7, yeah.
6-7. All right, there we go. I'm like, nod your head, lovely people. Help us out. Yes. 619-902-2287. 619-902. Shh. 8. I'm about to remove her from the stream. See, the live studio audience, this is live. I'm telling you. So do that. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always love you. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right? And again, I told you, next week, we're going to talk about same-sex marriages and transgenders raising children on your Shop Talk with Mel. So, again, find you, embrace you, love you. Until next week, people, you know what it is. Shop Talk every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon.